All right. This is part two to the configuration. So in the last one we went over. Whoops. In a previous video, we went over the configuration that's available to us in the customer portal. I went over the configuration that is some of the configuration that is available to us in the service agent queue. And now let's talk about Confluence. All right, again, Confluence is very similar to SharePoint. If you think about Confluence, you think about SharePoint, you're good to go. Just like SharePoint, if it's not done well, it's a terrible experience. If it's done well, it's an absolute pleasure. It's divided up into two main things: spaces and pages. All right. A space is where a project would lay, and then within that space you can have multiple pages. So in this case, Rocket Boots is a space, and then within Rocket Boots we can have a page that is dedicated to the product. We can have a page that is dedicated to FAQs and the team and whatever the case may be, and within each page is as many articles as we want. Now the big thing about Confluence is there are a lot of different settings that you can do. All right, so there are general configuration settings. It's just time and date and all that kind of good stuff like that. It does have user management, where we can manage the people who sees what and when they see it and all that kind of stuff like that. Resend that because he already told me that he was having a problem. We can invite users, we can deactivate them, we can activate them, all that kind of stuff like that. Further configuration, this again is just some site homepage, threaded comments, remote, can you do quick navigation, all that kind of good stuff like that. We can do it in different languages if we want to. Shortcut links, these are available to us. You can see right here we can do different shortcut links. It even gives us some helpful tips over here on the right hand side. Global templates and blueprints. All right, so this right here is where we can really, when you talk about templates, this right here is where we can really go and take Confluence to the next level. All right, and take it from something that is just bare bones and not really anything exciting, certainly not anything that we want to expose to our customers. And this is where we can put some design horsepower behind it and start to build templates that can be used across all the spaces and all of the pages, so that everything has as similar look and feel as possible, as well as the design support to make sure that everything is laid out in an intuitive fashion. So anytime we see templates, that's what we're talking about here, right? Is building the templates behind the spaces and the pages. We can import templates. So templates can be built outside of Confluence and then downloaded in. Requires a plugin. If I remember right, the plugin is no cost. I know there are also some add-ons that you can get that have a lot of pre-configured templates available. Next one is recommended updates and email. HipChat. HipChat is Atlassian's IM, instant messenger. I've used it. To me, it's no different than any other instant messenger. I'm not sure if it comes with an additional cost or not. I actually probably need to look into that. But that's all it is an IM. The IM, if it is connected, is built into just about everything, every Atlassian product that there is. So you can always activate your HipChat no matter where you are. Language support, configure code macros. All right, so so this is where so when you create a template, the template is just made up of a bunch of customized macros, and the macros are embedded into the template. All right, so this is where you're setting up those macros. The last thing, find new add-ons, managing your add-ons. So this is if you're looking for particular add-ons, you can go here and it's going to take you to the Atlassian Marketplace. Managing add-ons. So if you do have multiple add-ons, you can manage them right from here. It'll list them out. I obviously don't have any other Confluence-based add-ons. So security users. So that will take us to our user management. Whoops, come back to me. We can set up groups within our user management if we so choose. So if we are dealing with say Caltrans, okay, we can have a Caltrans group. We can have a Mississippi Health and Human Services group. We can have a Cambria internal group. We can take any number of people and group them, and then we can control access and abilities for that group. Security configurations. We can lock down certain things to make sure that they are only available to certain people at certain times that have certain roles, whatever the case may be. Global permissions. All right, so these are permissions that are going to apply on a global scale. All kind of part of the user management, and then we've got space permissions. Now, to me, this is one of them that will need some real attention to it when setting it up, because if we want to make certain spaces and or pages within Confluence available to our customers, then we're going to have to go in there and make sure that we have the permissions set properly so that they will be able to access it, but won't be able to access things that we don't want them to see. Where are we? Okay. Then we've got a lot of look and feel options, themes. Why does it keep doing that? Themes, color schemes, layouts, site logo, favicons, header footer, default space logo. So if we can get design support, if you can get design support, which I so highly recommend, this is where a lot of those design elements would be set at. And then we've got some other administrative functions, macro usage, audit logs, backup managers, import spaces, application links, macro repair, application navigator, etc. So that is the administrator side of Confluence. When you go into each of these, you can kind of go down the rabbit hole sometimes. So I would say just be careful of that. The important thing to remember if you're going to take on a service desk setup effort, you can think of it in several different pieces. There is the initial setup, which is relatively straightforward and easy to do. Like I showed you earlier, Service Desk takes you through it step by step by step by step, and when you're done, you've got the initial setup out of the way. And that can be done in just a few hours. So it's not a difficult lift at all. The design, or excuse me, let me talk about the agent queue, the Service Desk agent queue, and all the fields and screens and different schemas that are available there. That requires Jira administrator abilities. So that is the part that will probably take the most time. And when I say the most time, it depends upon how many modifications you have to do. But it can take days to weeks to get through all of those modifications and to test them and make sure they have come out the way you intended them to come out. The next big effort is the design, obviously. All right, the design effort that is required on the customer portal, and then the design effort that is really required on the Confluence side of things. And then there is the fourth thing and the last thing, and that is the effort required to properly set up your Confluence, all right, to make sure that it is designed appropriately, that it has a good look and feel, that will leave your customers with a good experience, that is also architected in such a way that it is intuitive, so that you can avoid that problem that most people have with SharePoint, which makes SharePoint such a challenge to use so often, is because they just simply never went through the design process. So those are the four kind of major efforts to get all three of these things connected up properly. The initial setup, again, relatively easy. The Service Desk agents queue, that's where you're going to have a lot of time and energy into configuring it properly. It requires Jira administrator skills. The third is design. Design where you need it on the customer portal and the Confluence side, and then setting up the Confluence side. So that's it. Hope that helps. Certainly, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. All right. But for now, take care. Talk to you later. Bye.